Mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's weird. It's not a
balloons. Yay.
That was weird.
Apple.
Sorry, I just
started off with a bang. You know,
it's noisy. I'm not hearing nothing.
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you. Sorry. Give me a second. See, that's what I get for doing. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
Sorry. We can hear you.
Give me a second. Okay. Cool. That was weird. Right as we started went up, I just heard static in my ear. Thought that was like a new thing.
Okay.
Give me some balloons again.
Balloon. Okay. Balloons. Peace. Well, there we go. All right.
Some Jackson off the wall.
Huh? Double?
This one.
Yeah, we got this goes Rockstar. Come on.
I think you have to do it the other way.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. That's Michael Jackson off the wall.
Then a balloon.
Yeah. I don't know how these got turned off on this computer, but I gotta figure that. Anyways, it's Monday, folks. Good afternoon. I don't normally do Mondays, but if you saw yesterday's show, you probably heard my nose right now. That sounds all weird, and I ended up calling in sick today. So I ditched the students. Sorry, guys. They're working on their final projects without me, and I hit up Kenny.
Because he knows I ain't at work right now.
No, are you
Not yet. I haven't started working yet.
You haven't still messed up? Okay, got it. There's like a little delay, but it's like
I don't know.
Whatever.
Is it off?
Anyways, hi everybody.
Oh, that's
no, you're good. Let's just go. We're good. And I'll check on my phone to see how it's playing. But
you guys see me being weird?
Anyways, Mondays, it's weird. Hi everybody. So this guy was here for the sport, but little did he know that there is no sports. So this guy, nope. And shiny plastic people, Chris understood the assignment. Blake, what's going on? Hey, I gotta thank Kenny first, and then Blake, and then my brother, because yesterday during the show when I turned on my second camera, apparently I went into like Snake Mountain, Mark from ho. And a bunch of you, Blake texted me, a bunch of you messaged me, my brother texted me, my brother texted my son to come over here, and my son is whatever. He decided not to. Teenager.
He's like, nah, let him sink.
Yeah. Oh, wait, see, now it's being weird. Anyways, yeah. That's exactly what he did. I don't know what's going on. I think it's Bluetooth. It's being funny. But anyway,
I checked it. I saw my mouth moving and the sound was coming out at the same time on my phone. So it seems cool. Like it's doing okay.
Yeah, I think it's my AirPods. But I gotta get this done. But a bunch of you tried to message me, and then this guy, Kenny, super chatted me and finally got my attention. And I just realized that I don't think I ever thanked you for the super chat though, man. So thank you.
No problem.
I swear that for the record, he didn't buy his way onto the show.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I gave you $2, bro. Come on.
Put me on, coach. No, I've been hanging out with this guy for a while online, and it's awesome. We hang out on the Clubhouse, and I like to watch him on Wednesdays and then Friday nights when I'm like conscious, because you guys go really late on Friday nights, right?
Yeah, it's been going, especially when I add people on. Then you're just, same thing like the Clubhouse. You don't know what time. You're like, oh crap, it's been 2 hours, and yeah.
So it's fun. But if you're not familiar with him, His channel over on YouTube is Kenzo's Creations. Hardcore Motu head, as you can probably tell from behind him. It's a little bit Thundercats right now, but there's like a giant mural of Castle Grayskull in that room in front of him. He is like, I guess he's like on a mission. One, he's got a bunch of motuclassics and origins and motu everything vintage. He's got battle armor on right now. Actually, I just look at that. Boom!
He hit me once.
I hit him once. And then he, like me, he's into the Masterverse, even though that show is like, you know, on pause because editing.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for being gentle.
You know what? All it's doing is piling up too, because the stuff coming is great.
It is. Man. It is. But in a little bit, I want folks to get to know you after we go through the chat. Sorry, I got distracted, and I'm sick. Can you tell? My brain.
You're good, man.
Blake, thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing good up in Oregon. This guy again, the sports. Nolan saying hello. Still at work, but listening in. Yeah, thank you. We both sound good. You sound good. I sound nasally. Rick Jones is here. What's up, man? I hope you're feeling good. Rick Jones, I'll have you know that I tested myself again today and still negative. So it's just like something. Other stuff. I know. Yeah. Whatever. Rick let people know publicly on a chat. So let's see. What's up, Quip? Beer. That's a beer. Okay, got it.
Cheers.
Loudly. I hope we're not too loud. We like sports and we don't care who knows it. Yeah, it's just me, man. I got this little space. When Kenzo's on, he gives me crap all the time and starts talking sports. So that's cool. That's his channel. But over here, not allowed, buddy. Yeah.
I'm just wearing the hat. That's it.
Okay. Let's see who else is here. What's up, man? Oh, see, you're sick too, man. Take care. Oh, see, yeah, this is what my brother said. Basically, hey, nephew, get your dad together. I love that. So my brother was texting me a couple of times through the show trying to get my attention. But unfortunately, my phone was being used here, so I didn't notice. And so he texts my brother. He texts my son. So what does my son do? Texts me.
The same thing my son does when he needs something from upstairs when I'm downstairs. Man. Dad, come up here. I need something. No.
Anyways, that kid. Good. Yes, working on it. I'm gonna skip that, Blake. No, I'll allow it. I'm kidding. It's cool. Tough. You guys nerd out about whatever you want to nerd out.
It's good. I'll respect the show.
It's cool. Tariffs down. Prepare for some figures shipping. Yeah. There was some news announced today that we're down, but like back to it's like 30. So it's still up from when we started in January. All this like tariff war BS. But it's much down from, what was it, 100% or 150, then a 200, whatever it was. This whole thing is ridiculous. I haven't refrained from it because I don't want to talk politics. If people want to know, I think it's ridiculous. I think Fool put us in this situation, and here we are. So, but if you'd like to have a real conversation, hit me up because, that's not what we're here for. Let's see. And
the show's not that long, Brick. That's the problem.
Okay.
Not so good.
Yeah. Let's it can be. Let's talk real quick about what you got before we get started. Because first off, can I just say you collect toys like a madman? Like I thought, I had a habit. And I don't mean to put that on you like your habit's any worse than mine, because it's not. But you've got a habit. And so you got big toys. You got small toys, you got sale toys, like the random pickups from the Ross. You just got like toys up the wazoo. You got toys in storage.
When do I get Star Wars? What is this? Why is this on my table?
Because it's awesome. And if we if we had the choice, we would just be like this. I get it.
Yeah.
But on top of that, on top of your massive, actually, why don't you run down some of the things that you actually intended to collect? Like, because I know you got some pretty close to completes.
Yeah, no, I'm caught up on these. I know a lot of people weren't big fans of her, but I did catch up. And this one I swapped the head on, but the new Ninja is amazing. Like this is my favorite Masterverse of all.
So are
Like,
those in stores now, or because
they just shipped from Entertainment Earth, which means
okay.
all the stores, the independents, because I did see today on Eternia Dreams that they got theirs, because I'm sure they got them from Eternia or from Entertainment Earth.
Entertainment Earth.
But a lot of people are still waiting for them on Big Bad.
Got it.
But Big Bad just shipped my 4-pack of the new Origins 4-pack, Eternia Battle, whatever, the new one. So
the Origin,
the one, yeah, with the different weird mixed mashups they're doing.
So can you hold that guy up again? Because the second I saw that, you basically sold me on having to get 2 Ninjors and this that's a, was it a Turtles?
Turtles, yeah.
Which Turtles is that?
This is the Ninjor Turtles of Grayskull.
Oh, so that is a different Ninjor from Turtles of Grayskull. Dude, that looks really good. That looks so good.
And it was actually somebody on my channel when I did the review. They're like, "Hey, could you put that dragon head on there?" And I was like, "Of course." And I did. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm leaving it on."
So the dragon head, because Masterverse has a peg. How is that like hiding? Is it kind of going over the neck?
It's a little bit showing. You could see a little bit.
Oh.
But I mean, if you kind of tilt his head down,
he looks
his neck down a little.
Well, I was gonna say,
yeah.
On top of that, because that neck, that ball, that, what am I trying to say? Barbell has a little bit of movement too, right? So he can probably bend kind of. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
No, but the Masterverse, I did for getting entered, because what I'll end up doing is my addiction goes to where I start getting strategic with it. I'll order from Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Amazon.
Oh,
and
okay.
Whichever one hits first.
Not strategic, but strategic. Yes.
Cancel everything else. That way I get the ones before. And when you run a channel and you try to do reviews and you want to, obviously, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Like these Masterverse jumped me up quite a bit. So it was kind of cool getting them early.
I gave up on that game. I let you
every now and then. If I can hit it, I'll hit it. You know. But yeah,
okay,
it's all about collecting anyway. It's
your classic stuff. Is that pretty complete? Motuclassics?
No. I cherry picked. I started late.
Okay.
I never purchased anything from the retail from Mythic Collector. Everything has been from third party. But the thing that I did was, and of course, shout out to Faker Battle Cat, my buddy. He's such a hustler, such a mover, that he's like, wait till you get to he get on all those sites for the groups, the Masters Universe groups. And a lot of people end up getting rid of their whole set. And if they're getting rid of their whole complete set, then you can start grabbing stuff for cheap. Because when people are offloading, you get them for the deep dives, you get for $15-20 a piece. So it's not bad. Yeah.
Cool.
Some they'll never go down, but some are good. Yeah.
So Motu's like one of your big loves, yeah?
Yeah. Ever since I was a kid, I was always Motu. I still have some of my. I have Fisto was the only figure that survived, but I still have an old Halloween costume that has the battle armor He-Man with the arms, the buff arms, and Skeletor mask that glows in the dark. But it's all like when I was 5, so.
But you're like, so when there are gaps in what Mattel produces, there are customizers who are doing stuff. And I know you're like a 3D printing fiend. So you've been on this, like, I don't know, a quest to just make whatever cool stuff seems to be filling some gaps. And there's some things you were showing me. Could you share? Like, first off, could we just start with your right shoulder? Because that thing is awesome. Tell us about that thing.
Yeah, this was Lovely Evil Horde was the designer. And actually he's made modifications since I've printed it to where he has a basement now. So there's actually more rocks to put it on top of, and then there's a ladder that goes down below that you can actually add the light to go up light hope cool. Even more. So, but yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's what I always remembered Shera from was the cartoons, and that was the Crystal Castle. Like so for me personally, that was a must, and I knew it was going to take a lot, but since I had gotten my new larger 3D printer, and I did it all in resin. So if anybody does 3D printing, a large resin print is going to be a lot heavier and a lot more difficult than FDM, because those are it's a lot lighter material. This is heavy. So
but it's cool, man. And the print you painted that, so that gold finish is nice.
Yeah, and that's just Krylon high
Mhm.
gloss metallic gold. So I mean that was nice to where that was the easy part. I did airbrushing on the rocks, so I did the light and the dark on there to get some highlights and some shadows. But
You've been doing this stuff for a while now, though, right?
yeah, I started with your favorite. I started with sports.
Sports, yeah.
Back in like 2012, I started doing
Yes.
sports, and the cool thing was, and this is just a quick one, I'll push through it. It doesn't have to do with anybody playing sports.
No. You can
But
actually talk
a
about
lot
it.
of
Come
that
on, I
came
was teasing.
from family members, wives of players,
Yes.
players themselves, media. I got reached out by all of these people to make customs for them, and I've gotten a lot of commission jobs done. There was a very good defense, Derek Wolfe. He played for the Broncos his whole career, played with the Ravens for a couple years, but when he retired in Denver. His wife messaged me. She's like, "Can you get a figure done in like a week and a half? I'll pay you whatever." So I got a commission to put on his retirement cake for an NFL professional player. Had my figure on his retirement cake, and it was little things like that. But I got to meet a lot of players: Jamal Murray, Terrell Davis, all the best players that around this, Von Miller, all that good stuff. I got to meet them. I got to get on TV a few times. I was on
this is you.
21. I was actually a channel CBS 4 in Denver came down. Oh, that's an awful
video. Check out baby
so
Kenny.
Oh,
baby Kenny.
Look how fat. Chunky boy. But I did Loving Living Local. I did, like I said, Ryan Green from CBS, who actually came down and did an interview at my house. And then CBS came and did an interview, or an NBC came and did an interview at my house as well.
That's cool. So this is all your stuff here, and you were doing pops as well as what were the bases for these? Like, what were you using?
McFarlane sports picks. And then see, I haven't made myself there. The little basketball guy, that's myself in high school. My Uncle Rico post, the one on the left, all the way in basketball.
Oh, this one.
Shooting it. Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where once I got the printer, then I could make all the new helmets and I could do all the new style because they changed up with the concussion protocols and all that stuff. So, and that's that Jamal Murray, the basketball pop. That's the one I actually made for Jamal. And I got tickets to go to the game, got to meet him behind in the family room. I saw Jokic's brothers were there, freaking monsters.
Cool. I mean, I don't know who they are, but it's cool that as a fan, you got to meet them by doing this stuff.
And ultimately, Brick, you know what the coolest part was? One, I got to bring my son to meet them. Two, I got to bring my dad. And my dad got me into this. And my dad, the fact that I got my dad to meet Terrell Davis, like the greatest Bronco almost ever. And it's cool. It's pretty cool.
That's great.
And it did kind of get old, and I kind of got sick of doing the little decals, and my eyes started getting bad. And I thought, let's go to toys now. So
it's funny that you started with this, given you were into Motu and stuff. Was it just because it made sense and you knew that there was an outlet for it, or like?
Well, I've always I've always done it. I've always been artistic. I've always wanted to create. And for me, it was a nice transition because I really didn't get back into collecting, because obviously when you first have them, you're not collecting when you're a kid. You're playing. You're buying toys because you love to play. Yep. I didn't start technically collecting until 19 when the Origins hit. So there was a big gap. And
2019, not your age 19.
No. It was a long time ago. So it worked, it fit, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. The only difference is with these, they're statues, and they were a lot easier with 3D printing, whereas with articulation, I love what people like Alien Cito are doing, because what they're able to do is they're making these kits. So instead of doing a full custom where you have to try to make a 3D print articulate, he's making stuff to pop on and put Origins parts into.
Right.
And the cool part, like that one right there, that's Pat Bolin, the gold one. Yeah. That was a commission by his daughter. That was the owner of the Broncos, and his daughter commissioned me to do that one.
Oh, wow.
Because he passed away, and that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
A lot of crazy stuff with sports. And I could be still doing it, and I probably could be making more money and having more fun, but I'm stuck in the toys again, man.
Did they totally 19 before the plague, man. And we've actually got people watching that are going through the plague. Part of the reason I stayed home today was because I had tested, I'd been negative. I was like, let me test again, because my coworker who I was hanging out with on a field trip on Thursday hit me up yesterday and was like, hey man, I'm not coming in tomorrow. I tested positive. So the plague is still here, Nick Dillinger. It is still here. And it is making the rounds. But sorry, to go back to this, do they tell you if they want pops versus the sort of McFarlane thing? And I'm curious, is that and is that because that's what they know, or
and it's just a personal preference. What's really funny is Jamal. So he's the one that's been playing in the playoffs with the Nuggets now. He's the one that like, I made one for a fan, and he messaged me and he's like, hey, I want one of those. How can I get one? I'm like, dude, of course, I'd be honored to make one. I'm no charge. I'm not gonna, And then when he's like, I found an artist, a 3D sculptor. He used to be called the Blue Arrow. They still call him the Blue Arrow. And he used to do this. After he hit a 3, he'd do an invisible arrow. Right. So I found a pose of him doing that arrow pose. I paid $150. I got a sculptor. He made that pose for me, and it looked just like him, very accurate. And I made that for him, and he liked it. But honestly, it was like one of those things where he kind of, I don't know if he was creeped out because it looked so much like him or what, but he was like, he really liked the pops. And then of course they won a championship, and then they got their own pops. So then he didn't, but I haven't heard from him for a while. But a lot of times they do ask for pops, and then some ask for larger ones because you can do them in 12-inch also. I've done a lot of the 12-inch figures. So it's just, it's random.
Wait, so the 12-inch pops or the 12-inch?
Well, there's 12-inch McFarlanes that I've done, and there's the 10-inch the 10-inch pops that I've done.
Man, I didn't even know there were 12-inch McFarlanes.
Yeah, they did a few.
That's too much McFarlane for me.
Yeah, well, in the sports
Chris.
ones, there's not much. Von Miller with his glasses.
That's cool, man.
There was one, like there's a Funko Pop, the 12-inch one or the 10-inch one's the jumbo size. I know, like there's a Skeletor out there and a Beastman. I did one with the Joker, so a basketball body and the Joker head, and I did it because Nikola Jokic for the Nuggets is called the Joker, so I put the Joker head on there. That thing went for like $250 right after I finished making it. It was done. It was gone before I could even finish. So.
There's just I'm just curious because, again, sports not my world, but there's
fanatics are crazy
who want that kind of thing, huh?
Yeah,
that's cool.
And some have a lot of money and they want to get rid of it, just like people that buy toys, So
right on. Well, then let's get back to the cool stuff. So that what's it called? Not Light Hope. Is it Light Hope? Whatever that thing is behind you.
Crystal Castle. Or we're talking about
Crystal Castle, fake fan. Yeah, that comes in multiple parts, right? Is that how that model works?
Yeah, a lot.
And then you got to build it up. Got it.
I don't want to squish him. Hold on. Whoop! Did I?
Oh yeah, that's the other one. That's the one that I want to see because I love that you did that one.
So.
Oh God, this is scary.
It's on good wheels. So this is the back of it, and I'm not sure. I think the batteries might have gone, but
oh yeah, those
so many of these. I don't know which ones.
They're always wonky, man. I've got a bunch of them too, and they don't always work. And
so I think the batteries died on them because it is one of those that you recharge. It usually has the double lights that go, and like I said, this part was all a piece. This was in 2 pieces.
I see.
This was in 2 pieces.
What's the join on that? How does that work?
I mean,
are they just keyed to each other or something?
No, they're just flat.
No.
You got to line them up with your eye as good as you can. And then if there's any little gaps or whatever, because everything's not going to print perfect.
Sure.
So when you're printing it, if something goes a little bit off, it might have just a little bend to it. So you got to put some I use epoxy sculpt and I put it in between and then I sand it down as good as I can.
Beautiful.
But I just use like Gorilla Glue or what's the other one? Loctite does real good with 3D printed parts. But yeah,
no issues, huh?
What's that?
Once they're glued, they're good.
Pretty much. This one I dropped, so I had to put Humpty Dumpty back together again because I was like carrying him outside to do a picture, and on the way in, I forgot that I didn't connect this all the way. And that just boom. So I had to, there was probably like 6 or 7 pieces I had to re-glue. So
But that is so cool. Look at that in your collection. I know you've got like other stuff, other big motu playsets and stuff. So it fits right there. And
Wow.
it's
Like
look at
little,
that motion picture. Goodness.
and Yurko just released the stairs to this.
I saw
and they
that.
look
Yeah, I did see that.
amazing. So yeah,
You can create that, but again, space take up. What do you? Yeah,
right. Where am I gonna put it? I know.
Yeah, but that's cool, man.
Tucking stuff around. I have this giant battle bones. Oh, where is it? Right
Where is it? Where is it?
Right on the top here.
Wow.
It's clear. And then I have a 140% slime pit. So this is 140% scale, so it fits Masterverse really well.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So
speaking of 140%, that big blown up skeletor that you just kind of like popped up and put away, that's my favorite. I can't believe you did this just because.
Oh, this one I think is 240.
Oh, 240%. That's awesome.
And it's got, I mean, same articulation.
As
this one, obviously, there's no spring, but this does spin, Not
Where'd you get
good.
the files from? Someone just scanned them and uploaded them or sculpted them?
What's kind of funny is even before Origins came out, before we started doing this, I printed like 5 oversized masters. Cults 3D is kind of my place to go. I pretty much have whatever file they've pretty much ever had that's decent, but this is it's pretty much an exact scan of the vintage.
And paint's clean.
And I've always been, this is the one thing I normally don't brag too much, but color wise, I've always been solid at matching colors, mixing colors, not worrying about, I never have to worry about it. If I have the colors I need, I can mix and match and make it exactly what I need to do. So
can you get us in on that face? Yeah, because you really kind of replicated that, simplistic old vintage style pretty well. Looks good. Look at that.
And that's the chest is a water slide decal. That's the stuff I used to use on the sports. So I didn't paint. That's that's just the water slide print, which it came out so clean.
That's great, and it's flat, because it is working on the shape. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what the water slide. Because when I used to do the sports ones, the jerseys were wrinkled and real bad, so that's the water slide's all you could use, because once you wet it and you put that solvent on there, it adheres to the wrinkles. That's really cool, where I learned that from.
Your craft. So it's fully articulated in that sort of old classic vintage style.
The legs are a little bit. It's hard with the legs. A lot of the larger stuff, the way that they make them and with resin, it's very difficult to get it to either stick in there or be solid. So this one I got in, but I actually, if you notice, I put some foil inside there to try to just keep them sturdy. Because it'll stand on its own. It's just I need to, so it'll stand on its own.
Yeah, it doesn't handle the friction. Yeah,
but it's like an older one that you have to kind of work to get it going. Yeah.
Right. So what's the joint on that? Since the old ones were like rubber bands on the legs. What
on the legs? That's the difference.
They just create balls.
When they made them, they have an oversized peg to go into a smaller hole, which once it's in. But when you're dealing with resin, you got to heat it up a certain way, and it's very, like, I've broken so many legs doing that. So most of the time with larger stuff, I'll just print the legs together on the waist, because it's easier. Because it's a vintage anyway. You're not going to be running him or posing him or anything,
Not to get all super techie, and just for the folks because I know some folks do watch and wonder about the tech side of things. What kind of printer are you using, and what kind of resin do you use? Printer and what kind of resin do you like?
The printers I use, I have all Elegoo. So I've got 5 different Elegoo. One is the Jupiter, which is their largest 3D printer. Well, one of their largest. As far as resin, it's their biggest. And then I have their Saturn, and they do it all by planets. I have 2 Saturns, and then I have 2 Mars. So I have 2 smaller ones, 2 medium, and then the large. And then the resin, honestly, it's whatever's on sale on Amazon, because I could get a liter for, I just actually got 3 liters in the mail. They were $12 a piece. And that is a gigantic deal. So some of the stuff like the glow in the dark resin can be up to $60 for a liter. And the clear's not as bad, but anything that kind of has a little bit more movement to it, a little bit stronger, a little bit more flexible, in the $40 to $50 range for those resin for a liter of the liquid. And it is all liquid turning to solid by a UV light. That's how the 3D, that's how that resin printers work.
Yeah. That's cool. So you've got a new project that you were just showing me, another big one, because you're
just in the middle of it. And when you said weird, I said, okay, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, give me the nice weird, right like, now, like, yes, I appreciate weird, as you probably know. Like, I love folks who like want to do something different.
Like, I've never seen this made. That's why I wanted to do it. So, it's big.
Whoo, that is Marlena's ship. For you,
so the logos are on there. Everything's on there, just like the cartoon had. It has the single chair, so I just have that one kind of floating around. And that line is just because I changed out the resin and one was darker, so it just everything's smooth. It just has that line. Once I paint it, that goes away.
Right.
And then this is the clear resin for the canopy there, but once I clean it up, it'll be shiny and see-through. But yeah, so this is the one. So this one, same thing. You can see here's the glue points, and I put the epoxy sculpt on top, and then sanded it to smooth.
Who sculpted that?
This is a Yurko.
That's a Yurko too.
Yeah.
Wow. That thing is
freaking awesome. Yeah.
Blake wants it.
Not too bad. Huh?
So it's sized for which figure style? Like
it's
a classic
sized
style?
For origins. What I ended up doing, there's Moron Wallace. I remember him. He was one of the first. I think he might have been the one that did the Skeletor. But he does a lot of vintage looking, but he's the one that did the female Zodak, the one that I made the Evil In out of. He's the one that Moron Wallace made that. But he also made a Marlena with the spacesuit. So cool. I'm doing that where the legs, maybe the legs, I might use Origins legs, but the torso and the head, I'm using his print, and then the arms, I'm going to use Origins, just like I did the Evil In.
You haven't printed that out yet?
I kind of have. It's
sort
in the middle. Progress. Yeah, it's in the middle of it. And
no problem.
Yeah,
yeah, I got downstairs. You. That thing is really cool looking though. I didn't notice like you were holding it, but does it have like, how does it stand up? Does it have like?
Well, the thing is when I looked at it later, it showed there were some wheels on it, but there's no wheels on the thing, so it's flat. I mean, it's okay. Got to be, maybe if I set it on something, I'm not hanging it because it's resin. It's very heavy. I don't think I would probably do like a shelf that kind of sticks out a little bit more and kind of stick it in the middle.
How heavy are you talking? 5 pounds?
No, it's probably 10 pounds.
Wow.
Maybe 8.
I mean, you could get it up there and you could get it fastened, no problem. It's just just in case it falls and hits somebody.
Well, and see, that's what I did with my collector that I printed. That's your
goals. Yeah, that's right.
I kind of put it on a shelf there too, because that's heavier. That's even heavier because there's and that was early on. That's before I had my big printer. A lot more cutting, a lot more pasting, a lot more work.
Yeah, that stuff is cool though, man. I love it. Yeah, Blake's thinking the Baroness might look awesome in that thing. And might scale really well, actually.
She probably would. Let's see. I got a few Baroness. Let's see. Oh. Want to knock it over. It's a little
and oh, let's see her.
He's a little tall.
Let's see her. Nah, she looks cool though.
But
so I got it. The cockpit was really flush, right? That just kind of go. Yeah, I see.
Whoops, sorry. Well, and the thing is if you get that other one in there, it actually is able to go forward and close up. So you can actually close it all the way.
I see.
Where you look like, and then when she's landing and you want to pull it back to have her on there controlling it.
Oh, man, that is just too cool.
But
You know, she looks cool hanging out. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense whatsoever, but
I mean, she could be
that's
going a flight,
that's
just doing a
that's the
flight
stuff of
around.
our
Yeah.
yeah, that's the stuff of our childhood, right? People just kind of hanging out of planes and stuff. Raceland, what's up, man? Great. What's his name? Ash Darkwolf? Yes. From Fire and Ice. Thumbnail. Raceland's saying the rumors are Origins is bringing back 2000X into that line. I think, did Toy Habits say that as well? I feel like I saw that somewhere else. Like that's
I mean, I
next
know the
thing.
larger ones are going to Mondo, but that's like the 7-inch, right? Or 6.5 to 7-inch. But well, you saw the one, right? Didn't you? Wasn't
I
that
did. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, but I'd heard, I don't know if it was on Toy Habits as well that I saw that might be coming, but that would be kind of cool because they did do it for that SECC one, right? Did they do like a yeah, she's got it.
Hold on, I just wanted to show one more. I'm dropping stuff now.
But it says hopefully they redo He-Man's face to be more accurate to the show.
Check this one out.
Oh,
Speaking
you
of
got
2000X.
Yeah. Is that the
Here's-
NECA?
This is a kit. This is an alien. This is a kit by Aliencito that you connect to
God.
Origins.
No
And
kidding.
That's why
cool.
I said it was so cool that he's able to make these kits that fit Origins. You use the Origins parts, but cover them up with this. So,
oh man, that is killer.
right. And so,
all right,
hopefully, yeah, this is what we need. Stuff like this.
Yeah. Blake used to live in that area, and so he just wants to know when he can come by and pick up that ship.
Come on by. Which one you want? You want the Crystal Castle or you want the ship? Which one?
He'll take it all.
Because honestly,
all right.
if I ever sold it, it would have to be pickup. I could never ship that out. It's 3 feet tall.
That's true. It's too damn, and just you never know how it's gonna end up.
No, I know it will. It'll end up in pieces.
yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some news stuff, man. You've got needless ephemera for those of you that aren't familiar. One, I don't normally stream on Sundays. I'm sorry, on Mondays, but I usually go on Sundays. As I told people in yesterday's show, I will not be doing a show this coming Sunday because I'm going to be hanging out on another stream. So as Justin Mohan points out, his timing's impeccable. A Monday night toy stream is pure genius. Nobody streams today. Yeah, I know other people do stream today. It's I was sick, Justin. I had the time, and I was just about to say that I'm not going to be doing a stream this following Sunday, taking a Sunday off to go actually hang out on somebody else's stream and over on the Latin Legions. So it worked out.
Plus, it's early. A lot of people.
I should be sleeping, but yes, that's true. I think so. Shout out to Toy Picks, who's going on right now, and then Punk will be later tonight. Who else is tonight? Mondays. There's a bunch. I'm just brain dead. But anyway, there's a bunch of shows. So, but you're here now. So thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. On that note, what we normally do here is we talk about needless ephemera, as it says up there. It's an acronym for the news, but like truly, some of it's newsy, some of it's not. And we're going to go through a bunch of stuff. And over there by Kenzo, you'll sort of see a QR code and this bit.ly URL that's coming across right now will take you to a file that'll have like all the links to whatever we take a look at. So I usually put that up shortly after the show. If you can't tell, I'm sick, so I'll probably get to it relatively quickly. But so let's go and get into some stuff, man. I want you to check out some stuff with me. And let's start off with the buddies over at From the Realm. A lot of realms these days. Yeah. But the folks at Carlos and Jorge of From the Realm have been doing the rounds. They were at Toylanta recently and are sort of sharing more and more of their prototypes. This was actually done by Sabadam, who worked on the articulation. And so this is Sabadam's post of it. Sabadam used to always do a bunch of like great sculpts for Mythic Legions, and then eventually did Fure Planet stuff, right? And so you can kind of see what they've got going on with this. The fact that he can get into this pose, right? Everything from the toes up, that toe articulation, which is pretty well hidden, I gotta say. I mean, is there even toe articulation? It looks like it, but
yeah, Right there on the right cut in the middle. Yeah.
Yep, and you've got those the way that ankle moves and pivots, and you've got it on a ball, and you've got this leg coming up, double knee, which is really beautifully sculpted. Take a look at that knee. I mean, beautiful, ugly, of course.
Yeah.
But
Muscle
everything
tone is crazy too. That
Yeah.
muscle tone's great.
Healthy use of these ball joints going on here and at the ankles, and really love it. So you can get it into all these positions. Look at that neck. This is going to be fun. I got to handle some of these at Legions Con, early prototypes that they had at that show. And this line is exciting. I know they wanted to go a little bit earlier than they are, but you know, all sorts of reasons to pause and delay. The tariffs just being one of the latest, but you know, so I think they're trying to keep plugging ahead and like get us something soon. So I really need me an editing man. I interviewed those two like in December, and I gotta edit it because they're doing some really cool stuff and have some great ideas for what this line's gonna be. But I think the figure's looking great. It's a great body, but this isn't the only thing that they have. I'm not sure. As someone who works with, what's that?
Handsome man. No.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you, I should say, for those who might be unfamiliar to this line, the idea is a bunch of iconic creatures and looks of creatures that we know. So this is the vampire. This is the first realm that they're, I think it's shadows or something. So it's going to be all about vampires, and you can kind of switch out heads and kind of create iconic looking vampires from different pop cultural things that we've seen before. So, as someone who plays with printing and resin and stuff, you know how difficult this can probably be to achieve. And I'm impressed too, like how they're able to hold that pose even just for like the 30 seconds it needs to take the photo.
Yeah, you're looking at some. I mean, and that's a difference. The quality, obviously, you're getting some really good res. The stuff that I buy would snap. It's just there's no articulating the stuff that's the $16 off the shelf or $13. You know, there is a lot of higher end stuff that works really well for stuff like this, and I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into a professional style print. So yeah, very cool though. Details amazing.
Yeah, they're working with some really good folks, and Jorge himself is a creative, he's a brilliant dude. In addition to that creature, oh yeah, see, I can tell my computer's mad at me, so I'm gonna open less windows. So there's that same thing in the coffin displayed at Toylanta, but they also revealed this guy who's gonna be pretty much a slug figure. He may have some movement in the hands, but this is the servant. Cool looking little creature. I have no idea how this is all going to work. Was that?
He's got one shoe off, one shoe.
Yeah.
It's cool.
His little barefoot with that crusty little toe. But they're getting ready. The master's servant has been revealed. And then this is actually super impressive. I really like this big old creature. I'm a sucker for big figs, as you know, and big monsters, but this is their bat beast. Do you know what this is from? Was this what he looked like in the Bram Stoker's at the end?
I was thinking that. I was thinking the ears kind of hit that. I mean, oh man.
And it's not, that's not a dig at them, because that's kind of their intention. They're trying to intentionally sort of allude to famous versions of what we've seen. But yeah, I'm not totally sure. I know each of these is meant to be a reference to a very specific style of Dracula that we've seen. So, but
that's cool.
It's a cool looking thing, right? Look at all the little fur and the hairs and that face. And
like you said, with the fact that you already see what the detail is on the first one, knowing that this is going to be doing the same thing, and look at those paws. Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like what they've got going on, man. From the realm, look out. They'll be talking more about the Kickstarter, I am sure. Then here's the last one. Their sculptor is Eric Sosa, who's hasn't done a ton of articulated figure work. I know he's done some, but his work has been in sculptures. So it's kind of cool to see him in his element with this thing. That thing looks pretty killer. I don't know what the plans are for this, if it's like a one-off just to sort of reveal it, but pretty cool.
Yeah. You can see like in the wings, or you can see where all the like kind of the breaks in the wings on the bottom, where it's like the gargoyle kind of. You can see that. Yeah, yep, that's crazy.
I love that.
That is badass.
Yeah, that's the stuff that excuse me, we dreamed about, right? And like when we were watching those like filmation figures that, you know, they'd be able to someday achieve in our hands, and
scream that kind of got to you every time, but they look good. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Legions Lounge is today too. That's the other Monday. Blake is saying it's awesome to get another brick stream that leads right into Legions Lounge. Absolutely. And From the Realm figs are gonna be killer, no doubt. KJ Smith is here. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh, Nolan saying hi to KJ. Raceland is saying for sure can't wait for their comic inspired figures as well. And then it looks like Man Bat. It does, but not from Stoker. So yeah, I'm not sure where this came from, but 100%. What's up, Charlie Squared? It looks killer. So From the Realm, look out for it. Let's see what else we've got in the queue. Let's try and move through some of this stuff. Ooh. Oh, into another realm. Let's get brutal. So I apologize to James and Jason, because yesterday James sent me these renders because he knows that he tends to reveal stuff on a Monday, and he's been real good about sharing stuff with me on a Sunday for me to reveal on the Sunday stream. And I was so out of it yesterday and continue to be out of it today that I completely spaced. So here is, he published it this morning, and it looks awesome. New renders of Grimskull. I love it. It's fall before fate, kneel before annihilation, surrender to oblivion. I love it. So here is just showing off some of the articulation and what they've got planned, as well as the weapon, right? The last time they were here, they were talking about how that was going to work. So this like red sort of glowy sheath, it's actually a blade or effect. It's like simultaneously the blade and the effect, and kind of a sheath, because it actually comes off of the sword. And we'll see that in a second. But it is kind of cool to see this. And the cape, I asked him, I was like, what's going on with that? He's like, yeah, it's totally render. It's pretty good for a render.
Yeah.
If you zoom in on it, you can kind of see there's texture on that too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Simulate the weave.
Yeah,
but he's it hits those classic notes, right? Like I
can see a couple combinations right off the bat. When I first saw it, I said, dude, it's Skeletor and Vader at once. It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it has a Hordak sword. Like it looks kind of like that shape. It's like, man, that is so cool.
And there's that sword. Totally. I see what you're saying there. And then this essentially goes on top of that and kind of like latches in, follows the sculpt there, the hilt. And then there's a sheath as well. It's cool, man. I don't know if you did Micronauts or remember Micronauts at all, but do you ever see pictures of the bad guy in Micronauts?
No.
Okay. So he gives me Skeletor, Baron Karza, that's the Micronauts guy, and Darth Vader for sure. He looks really cool.
What's the
these are gonna be not far from Masterverse, a little shorter than Masterverse, about Legions.
God,
yeah. I went big on that Kickstarter, so looking forward to those if they come. I'm assuming, well, maybe this year, but I'm thinking maybe 2026. But it's cool, man. I especially love this shot here.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So shout out to James and Jason. They're doing great work, and I know the tariff thing has not been fun for them, but they're working, they're plugging away, and we're going to get these figures soon enough. Just love the big, solid trunk legs, man, and just looks so killer. Yeah. Dude, he looks good.
He just literally, it's almost like when you watch, it's a totally, but when you look at something like the MCU and you watch like how Thanos just was so much bigger and not just taller, but he just the beefiness of it. And that's kind of what it reminds me of. He could just pick somebody up and just put his fist through somebody's head.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
I'm with you, Charlie Squared. I can't wait. Mr. Ryan Clark. I totally see Baron Cars 100%. Raceland just caught up. Notice the reference of Jaguar God, which is a variation of Dark Wolf, will be made by Savage Crucible. And then, oh, that's going to be real cool. Larry's Geeky World. What's up, man? Good to see you. And Dave is here. Dave, as you can tell, I hung out with him and recorded a stream on Friday, or a video. I have not gotten better, friend. In fact, things sound worse. Anyways, Brutal Realm, check it out. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, this Mythic Legions. Don't need to go super long on this, but this was announced today. It's just another example of how these guys really kind of just do such a great job of, like, one, communicating. Jeremy's top of the game, but also like doing right by its fans. So they were also stuck in tariff hell. These came in more expensive than intended because of tariffs. They're not that, things have gone up and gone down. So this was in the highest tariffs affecting these ones, but they are essentially eating the costs. And, for those who are pre-ordered, our pre-orders will not change. There are a couple more details here. So they broke it down. Let's see. They were saying, while these items will be subject to tariff charges that we must pay, they thankfully shipped before the rates escalated to their highest point. It's wild, man. So they're set to arrive.
If it's too high, if it's too low. Anyway, next question. No,
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So it says here, they will be absorbing the costs of the tariffs and not charging pre-order customers any additional fees. And this part is 100%. I need people, I hope people recognize this is not like a small amount either. It's a substantial expense for a small company like ours. But we have every intention to not charge additional fees on pre-ordered items, which totally makes sense, right? They've said a pre-order is like a contract. So,
and just the way that everything's going, they could have very easily just said, guys, and you know what? Everybody that's a fan of this company would be like, dude, we get it. And they still didn't. That's awesome.
Yeah. And folks who buy Legions, it seems, not everybody, but it seems that they're not allergic to paying a lot of money for their Legions. And I've even heard people on Discords that I'm a part of, people were saying, hey, man, to be honest, like, we're talking a percentage of the wholesale cost, right?
Right.
And so folks are saying, if they just raise the price, I would be down to pay it, right? And, anyways, that's what happens. That's the kind of like loyalty you get when you are also good to your customers. And to be clear, produce some of the dopest product out there. So anyway, shout out to them and good luck to them, and every other small company dealing with this garbage right now. But you can read more for the details. It has been delayed, but it's coming. And, email customer service if you have to change your address, because they're about to ship. They said by this Friday. Just curious, have you got any of these on order? I know you were starting to look at Legions now.
No, I you see my room. It's I can't. If I jump into a different line, I got to get rid of other stuff. So
yeah,
if I decided to, you would see a big sale going on for my stuff.
Well, these are the figures that are part of this wave, and I'm pretty sure I've got one of these guys, but not a whole lot. I've also got a skeleton raider through Hella Dope Toys, because Ed actionfigs hooked me up with a birthday gift card, so
nice.
Grab one of those. But I didn't get too many from this wave, so but I know folks have been
something
waiting
from that in stock sale. I forgot who
it
it
is.
Did? But I did get, it was actually Faker Battle Cat again. He's like, dude, go over there and get these two are the ones you want. And I said, okay. So I just grabbed the one I thought was the best one.
Do you know
got me all excited. I didn't know
like?
what was going on until it was done.
I know how it is. Do you know which one it looked like?
He was I think it was it was the one that was white and red with the skeleton. With the skeleton face, but he was like white and red. He looked kind of like
looked like this. When you say white and red?
Yeah, but he had a skeleton head. It was the in stock sale.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Shoot.
I ended up getting sucked into that too. It's like, man, did I not have
I hate those emails because you get so excited about it. And I'm like,
it came in the morning of at but before I was heading to Sacramento, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be all legioned out this weekend, and then no, I still end up spending good money on more legions because they're good. They're good. But let's talk about some other things. Some things that maybe a lot of folks, I'm assuming, aren't too familiar with. There is a film, a 2023 film called Creation of the Gods, Part 1, subtitle Kingdom of Storms. It's all about, it's based on, I think, the investiture of the gods is like this. I've showed figures that are from that before, like Nezha. Anyway, it's all about like Chinese cosmology and mythology. And these are different characters in that. This is Daji, Lady Sue, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just going by what's here. But this one in particular, I was interested in until I found out how big she is. She's a little on the small side. She's like just about 6 inches. But I'm really intrigued by soft goods, of course. As you'll see as we go through, it's sort of like older garments that like with the big long sleeves, and it's all wired, and I just
cool.
yeah,
Get the hair, man. God.
and I was thinking maybe and then they've got like the realistic hair, rooted hair or whatever, but it goes into a plastic head sculpt too, which I kind of like that mixing of materials, and it looks pretty seamless in my opinion, where that braid comes in and then the hair comes down. All the jewelry and the face is just
beautiful.
Yeah, see, I can already tell just by the size of it. Although I don't know, it might. I don't know how big this person's hand is, but it looks a little on the small side. But you can see again that head, the way it kind of just blends in from this plastic hair to the braid and down.
It's impressive.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing stuff, man. But
and I found that just as a side note, this is the guy, Brick.
Oh, I got that guy too. Yeah. The warrior beast.
I guess there was no red. I'm sorry. He's just
Headhunter.
white.
Headhunter.
Yeah. There you go.
I have the other one that has the red, but yes, I too.
He's cool.
I'm right there with you. And I got a second Ganesha because anyways, I think she looks really cool. And you've heard me talk about like just being excited that we're getting toys of things that like have existed for centuries. Like this is essentially the pop culture, right? I mean, I don't want to dismiss whatever. Like I hold pop culture up as high as like culture and mythology. But yeah, we're getting figures of this stuff. And I think it's really cool. Like, yeah. Anyway,
and it's not just, but the cool thing is like you said, it's not just something that you just see that, like a knockoff of something or other. I mean, this is like top of the line, just beautiful. Everything about it, like the soft just everything about it is great, man. You get it. Yeah, it's not like it's just done like half-assed. It's just like they put so much love and attention and artistry into that. I really love the soft goods and the patterns and everything. You can see a little bit more, but there's a lot of that in today's ephemera, a lot of soft goods that I'm just like, man, like I just feel like it just keeps the bar keeps raising and it's coming from whether it's indies like From the Realm or Brutal Realm or these companies overseas, and of course Mythic Legions has always kept pushing the bar with every single wave. So it's just kind of wild to see what we're gonna get in the next couple of years. Yeah, that thing is beautiful. Anyway, I'll sweep past her. She's looking great. She is like about $100 figure though, FYI. I mean, and then you know what? We've been so numbed to price anymore with everything.
True.
It's kind of crazy. You would never think about that 2 years ago to spend that on a figure. There's no way.
This is another character, Daji. She's a little bit like the head sculpt's great. I'm less attracted to this figure. One, actually, because of the rooted hair is complete. I'm still a little torn on it just because she would look so different from everything else on the shelf. Like I'd put her next to like a, masterverse shera, and she's got like plastic hair. And then here's this woman with like awesome actual hair. But, and also the soft goods set is just not as impressive, right? It's not.
And you're right. Depending on the size of that guy's hand, she does look pretty small in that dude's laying in his hand like that.
Yeah. But anyway, cool stuff. And here's the film for those of you who are curious. Just wanted to share a little bit about the trailer, but there's all sorts of cool movies and stuff. Look at the scale of this production, man. That I don't know if you saw that dragon up in there.
Yeah.
There's just all sorts of cool stuff from all over the world, and you miss out when you've got tunnel vision. So like I highly recommend exploring some stuff that you wouldn't normally explore. I don't want to show the whole thing because of issues with copyright, but it's got all the stuff that we love. Giant creatures. Look at that giant rock.
That one was
food
cool.
dog. People on horses with swords. People on I don't know if you saw that.
Wings. Look at that.
Yep.
Is this the cool thing is that's not out yet? That are we going to eventually get it to stream or anything, or is it something?
This is in 2023. I'm pretty sure you could probably
right? We can already see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so like this character, there's a version of this character coming that I have on pre-order. They're a little bit different because different art direction. Same with this character. These are all like different characters as part of this investiture of the gods. That winged creature, there's a figure coming from Noda.
That's cool.
So all of this stuff comes from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I highly encourage people to explore all the beautiful corners of somewhere.
Well, and the nice thing is when you look at something like that, it's not just a movie of like special effects and just it is amazing, but the story behind it's going to be so much better than because sometimes you're just like all effects. Or the story's there and the effects are no good. This one's going to put it all together, and it just looks like you're going to get a really good story on top of it.
Man, I inhaled films out of China and Hong Kong in college, especially the Hong Kong stuff out of college, and then more recently stuff coming out of like Indonesia, and I've just seen the productions just get bigger and bigger. And then once CG came in, man, you just sort of see it like go to these places. So I'm excited to see like a lot of that fantastic stuff on screen. Real quick, let's check in with the chat and then I'll get to a different type of film, a smaller type of film from my childhood, Drunken Master 2. But first, going back to the Four Horsemen, Mr. Ryan Clark is saying this is one of the most transparent communications from a toy company that I've ever seen. 100%, Ryan. And like as you probably know because you followed Legions as well, it's not out of the ordinary for them. It's not the first time. They've had some very transparent communication about business stuff or delays, and I appreciate them for it, man.
Yeah.
Charlie Squared saying I can only imagine how much they had to pay considering what happened to D13's Biblical Adventures. Yeah, that was rough. Let's see. A lot of indie companies are getting my business. A lot of good stuff. Yes, that's what's up, and that's a lot of what I end up talking about here because of that. What did you just have up? Did I just miss?
Oh, I was just
gonna wings.
While we were talking, I was gonna bring my
little
my little gargoyle that was turned into a young Granomir.
I love that thing, man. I forgot where you showed that. You and Curtis was looking at it, right?
Yeah. And I took him down, so I just set him next to Eternia. So he's just hanging out in Eternia.
Yeah, he looks great, man. Between the progress of soft goods and rolling eyes, what's next? It's true, man. Who knows? Pretty soon they're gonna start moving like those Transformers that transform. I don't want that, but I can imagine someone trying to do stuff like that. I imagine you need to maintain the rooted hair to look nice on the shelf. Yeah, that's the other piece of rooted hair that I struggle with. What's up, Alan? Hey, we're doing a weirdo Monday. And Ray, thank you for reminding the folks to hit that like button. I think Nolan's flirting with you, Ray. Creation of the Gods 2 just released at the end of January. Yep. So the second part of that movie just came out. Korean horror, yes, that was another one. Post-college, I think I was already up here in the Bay, and the drummer of my band was way into that stuff and would teach me about stuff. He's also Korean, and he would hit me to all the cool stuff coming out. Good stuff, man. Okay, going back, you watch Jackie Chan films growing up at all, or maybe more recently, like his early Hong Kong stuff?
Not really. No? It sucks because, like you said, and it's sad that, like you talk about, you don't really know what you're missing when you are kind of stuck in a little town when you don't really get
Sure.
any sort of outside influences at all.
Yeah.
But obviously now they start to broaden a lot as we get older and we're able to talk to different people and new things and things like that. So it is one of those things where bucket list, it's not even bucket list, but just to go back and start to appreciate stuff outside of what I was used to watching when I was younger, you know.
Man, young Jackie Chan was badass, and he still is.
Right.
But you know, they would always end his films too with like these montages of them, like the bloopers and the outtakes when they like mess up an action shot. But you just see like how they put these things together, and man, they legit get hurt, and he's gotten hurt a bunch of different times. Anyway, Drunken Master was a series about a literal drunken kung fu fighter, and this is from the sequel. This came out, and this is another one of those for the soft goods. Cool. Magnetic feet for reasons.
Yeah.
And you know, everything that it comes with that I might be looking at depending on size. This is by Mountain Studio, a company that I'm not familiar with. But the other reason I'm interested in this is a little bit of nostalgia. One of the first sort of like modern figs I got, meaning not of my childhood love, was the early 2000s. I got a 12-inch, my first like 1/6 figure. And this was before they were like crazy. It wasn't too expensive back in the day. It was a Drunken Master 1 figure of Jackie Chan, and he came with similar things like the big jug of alcohol and a bench to sit on. I still have him in my classroom, and so getting a 112 one would be pretty cool. The wild thing is that this 112 one looks so much better.
The details crazy. Look at his face, my gosh.
And he's flushed too from the alcohol. So
that's so cool.
He gets that redness that many East Asians get when we. And
looking at the detail, if you think about it, you could pose him on top of the jug to make him a little bit, you know, if he's going to be mixed in with the taller figures, throw him on top of there, and he's kind of towering over him, but maybe not.
He's super expressive, Jackie Chan. If you ever get a chance to check it out, man, or even just clips, it's really cool. Fun stories too. So there's this, and there's a couple of other videos of him showing off what's in it, but that's off good set right there. Man, I need someone to just make those to put on like some of my other figures, because I got ideas. But
you even have the clips all the way down. Is that on the front of the the front of his vest there? Is
here
like ties, or how does he have it? Yeah,
in in real life, that's how they would be. They'd be knotted here, or they're like a little braid, or I don't know what you call it, like a big giant knot that goes into like a loop, like a button basically, that it would unclip. So probably it just comes off 1, 2, 3, 4 and opens up. Yeah, he looks killer. Something that I'm really interested in. I'm going to look for it. And again, I want to see the size, but he looks cool.
Yeah, because 1/12, depending on what company's making it, is so different.
Yeah, and I just noticed that more and more some of the stuff coming in from imports, we'll get into the same pictures, are starting to be bigger. So
okay, good.
They're starting to be, you know, I think they're realizing that weirdos like me want big figures. So here you go. You recognize this guy?
Hey, I like him. Is that the that's not the 40th, right? That's the
he looks like the new vintage, doesn't he? Because it doesn't look like that jaw opens up.
No,
but it could also be custom. So this is Studio Grayskull, who
he colored teeth.
Yeah, I just love the paint that he did on this thing.
That looks cool.
Wait, is it? So this is the vintage one, right?
This is the
new one.
The one. This is this one. Wait, where am I going? This one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have that one yet. Because it's like a Walmart, isn't it?
Well, no, because actually, it's got the red in the middle, so that's the 40th. No, maybe he's using different ones. Yeah, he must be using the 40th chest, unless he just painted that red.
I love that he added.
The 40th chest has the red in the middle.
Oh, okay. I love that he added the little glitter in the eyes.
That's cool. That's really cool.
But I also love, like, so this muscle stuff, that's not on yours, is it? All this definition? He airbrushed some of that or something in it. It's really
the 40th. Clean. It's the 40th buck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I still have that in a box.
Yeah,
I think it looks really cool. I love how we did
it's the 40th buck because it's got that.
Yeah.
It's got the blue to it. You can see the red in the middle there too, but it looks like the other head. It's this head on top of this body.
Okay. It's
Something
clean.
like that. Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Look at with the texture added to all the dry brushing. It just makes stuff look like that looks like leather now. That looks like metal.
Well,
Same
just
with
like our
the
friend Buddy does. It's like how cool they leave all of this up to us to do.
Yep.
'Cause,
Yep.
of course, it wouldn't be cost effective for them, but it's there. So let's just paint it and make it pop. You know.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna be doing more of this summer. I'm gonna hitting you and
Yeah, you
Bud
got a
up.
bunch of stuff to paint there, Brick.
Yeah. I mean, I actually at some point I want to paint all my masterverse because it needs it. It begs for it. Like I want it to be able to hang out with some of the other stuff on my shelf and not look unfinished.
That looks great. Look at
That
that.
looks great, man. Whew. Good job, Studio Grayskull.
Yeah.
And then let's see what I don't. Yes, it's okay. Let's talk this, man. Have you seen
movie
this stuff?
Yeah, the stoplight. I guess.
Yeah. So we're getting a little more and more of the shout out to For Eternia for this, and there's a couple of other places that have shared stuff. But this is the video of just them. Oh, see, it's not. It says unresponsive. It's mad at me. God damn it.
Shake our fist at it.
That's okay. We don't need the video. We'll look at photos.
Okay, so he runs to the stop sign and then he stops.
Yeah.
And then he runs again. There you go.
And I actually haven't been paying attention to any of the chatter, so I don't know if there's good chatter or bad chatter, and I don't really care too much. I'm just looking at it fresh and not paying attention. And I'm excited. I'm just excited that we're gonna get a Motu film, and it looks like this one's actually like getting made. They're spending a lot of money on it to the point where at a certain point they're just gonna have to release it because it'll be waste of money and bad press. But what are you thinking of what you're seeing so far?
Dude, I'm the same way you are. Like I've heard bad and I've heard good. And when it comes down to it, I know you've been around me for a little bit and you know me a little bit, Brick, but I've always been, you know what? I'm going to be positive with it. I'm going to go into it with an open mind and I'm going to take it for what it is. I'm one of the only people that said I watched New Adventures and I didn't hate it. I rewatched New Adventures and didn't hate it. So
well,
I think it's great.
I appreciate that about you. I definitely do because I take what they give me, and the shoulda, woulda, coulda is like here's a sports reference. The whole armchair quarterback. Did I get that right?
Armchair quarterback. You got it.
It's like sure, maybe it would be different if in other hands, but it's not. And so I'm gonna see what they give me, and I'll wait. Also, these are early shots, right? So I'll wait till the actual thing comes out. These are all like these are just people taking snaps.
I like the way Tila looks. He looks good as Adam. He's he bulked up perfect. When we first saw him, there's no way I thought he was going to get to that size. No way.
You know what's awesome too?
With, Will Smith's guy must have, because when Will Smith went for Ali and he bulked up that quick like that.
Ali, boom, yeah. When I look at her, like it's a cool combination of different things, right? I see this in the classic, this sort of ribbing on the classic Tila figure. She also has reddish hair. Mendez, Camila, that's her name. Camila Mendez normally has like a darker black brownish hair. There's different elements. This reminds me a little bit of the 86 motion picture, a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like they're kind of pulling from different things. I'm here for it.
She got a 6-shooter there? What does she got? She looked like she got a peacemaker in there.
It does look a little like old from our world, but who knows?
Maybe she borrowed it from somebody in the movie or something.
And they're going to Earth, which is not my favorite thing. I prefer, I love fantasy separate from this place, but again, I'll go into it and just sort of see. But I gotta shout out to the whole pink button up. I think it
you know what?
Kind of worked out.
Made for us. They know who they're making it for. They know we're gonna respect the homage. They know.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm just, man, we're getting Motu. And I think, they're really, really trying to turn this brand into something that can continue.
They saw what happened to Barbie.
Yeah. And I love the stunt double.
Stunt double.
It's stunt Hollywood stunt doubles are the best. Shout out to them. It's not easy, but they always look like, you know, Timu
Yeah,
versions
literally.
of
They even
the
look, they
dudes.
dirtied the shirts perfectly. Look at that. Their pockets both have that dirt on them. Look at that.
Yeah, man. Anyway, let's check out real quick with the
I hope he's not wearing a watch in the. Oh, he's wearing a watch. No, it's okay. Hope that's not. Oh,
is it an iWatch? What do you call it?
Oh no. Maybe it's like a holographic No, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope they get the characters. Like, I hope I'm entertained, and I hope the characters are great. Jackie Chan is great, 100%. Jason's electric. Good to see you, man. Master with cracked fingers, one of my favorites. Yes. Love Drunken Master. The figure looks great. We'll love a Jackie Chan from Police Story or Project A. Yeah, you know what, Jackie Chan, give me a bunch of like the old Hong Kong film. Jet Li for sure, but man, there's a set. Anyways, whatever. I'm blanking. Don't worry about it. Is this JC licensed or not so much? I actually don't know. There isn't much known about it yet, so it's not like a full solicit. It's just pictures sort of announcing that it's coming, but nothing that says licensed or unlicensed. Yeah, my Lucky Stars was great. It really is a good looking figure. Other folks think it's the Masterverse 40th. I'm just gonna kind of skip through. I like the ruby eyes of the Skeletor. Let's see. Definitely a cool Skeletor. What's up, E? Oh man, you talked a little bit about Baron Cars earlier. You missed it. Let's see. Rick Jones is saying it looks so bad it's good. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's how I felt about 86. I didn't think it looked bad, but when they went to Earth, it was actually where my mom works in Whittier, California, or where my mom worked when she was still working. So it was kind of weird for me to be like, oh, that's Old Town Whittier. But and they're talking synthesizers. So it was fine. It's just, I just wanted to be in Eternia. Larry's Geeky World. I think the He-Man film is going to be good enough. Man, I hope it's good. I hope, and by good enough, I'm hoping it means that it catches the attention of mainstream audiences and maybe younger people, and because they're really, really trying to make that brand stick. I'm hopeful too. Cool. I'm really glad to hear folks are thinking that it's looking good and hopeful. South Amateur Hour, welcome. Good to see you, man. Alan will watch it and support it, but wishes it was not on Earth. I am with him 100% in that sentiment. We're assuming, Raceland's assuming the first half is on Earth and then the rest is on Eternia. Hopefully, like flip it from the 86 movie, right? That was tough when they like gave us like what 15 minutes or so on Eternia, and then Thundercats next. That'd be amazing. So we'll see. All right. What else did we want to talk about? I've got some. So you good on time, man?
Yeah. I hear my son out there playing on his VR, so we're good.
This figure, Algar. This is sort of Romanki Cowell's take on a Dragonborn from Dungeons and Dragons. It's like a humanoid dragon being. And this thing I've been waiting for. I've had it on pre-order. I've heard mixed things. I have heard some things about like the jaw is a little bit loose, but this was the first video that I sort of saw of it, and I was like, okay, cool. It's looking pretty cool. I was wondering about the paint and the plastics, and they're just sort of like heating it up and whatever. But I'm pretty impressed. I've always been impressed by the sculpt and the design. I was wondering about how this thing's going to actually translate. And so far, I think it's looking cool. There's that jaw.
That color's amazing on that.
I know someone who has it in hand, and they said, no, it's all good. But again, the jaw is a little bit finicky and can get loose. So I don't know. But here it is. Some cool shots of it. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is my one sort of like anticipated in 2025. Algar, the last scion.
Even the
He's the last
packaging.
scion and the first receiver. Don't know what any of that means, but he's both the first and the last. I've always wondered too, how you were telling me like you're getting like motu figs early to review. And like Jason has been going back to the old AWOC stuff and doing kind of unboxing videos, just doing it himself and just sort of showing them and moving them around.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered, like, and Eamon O'Donoghue did it with the Conan. What's to stop these guys from just why not just show us yourself like Eamon O'Donoghue does? Just open it up and show us the figure. Because, so many of us get excited based on like seeing them in hand and how people handle them. I'm not trying to, take the thunder away from toy tubers or anything, but
how many comments you get underneath to say, now I know if I'm going to buy it or not based on what you showed me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's going to benefit them if they know their product and they're confident in their product. Show it like that because you'll get more sales. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too. And whatever. It's probably just not something that they have the wherewithal to think about. Yeah, well, there's that too, which is probably why they do it. They're just like, these guys already have the followings, and they just send it to you. And check out like the double knee going on here. It's a little more sculpted and round. I'm really curious to see how that works out. But then you do this stuff like this, and I'm just like sold. Yeah, that's my reaction to it. I'm like, wow, okay, cool. That gives me the AWOC yoga vibes that I like.
Is that like a third segment there? I mean, it looks like the small waist, and then you've got a layer, and it looks like on another layer of like the 3 prongs there. It looks like it's segmented again.
Right here.
Wow.
It might be. I'm forgetting. It's been a while since I've looked at these pictures, but we'll see it again. It'll come up and you'll see it in the pose movements. Soft goods are cool too. I'm really looking. There's like a variant of this guy that's more like the reddish translucent plastic.
How tall is this guy? Alan was
he is like he's taller. He's like a 6.5, 7 inch.
Dude, that
I don't know exactly, but I check, because I want to know, are they going to be, little teeny dudes? But you can see the posing and
look at the sculpt on the sword too.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a cut salmon
with a glowing core. Yeah, you can see the 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the butterfly.
Butterfly too. Wow, bravo.
And these aren't even some of the best photos. They're still coming up, but I was just staring at these for the longest time. And these are great. I have some of these.
I got a couple at Ross.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because, right? Because they're really cool looking. They're Warhammer McFarlane's. Yeah. But I love that they kind of work them in. Oh, yeah. Here, you can tell the size too, right? Because McFarlane's are gigantor.
Pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking good, man. I'm excited about this one.
God, could you imagine him being like 9 inches tall, though? God. I know what Alan's thinking, too. When Alan's looking at it, he goes, if he was like 10 inches, now it's okay. But he wouldn't fit with a lot of other stuff, though. But, I mean, a dragon guy.
Oh, here you go. Here's the answer.
Picture. Yeah.
Here's the answer.
Oh, okay.
If you're familiar with some of these figures, Gun Girl. Ooh, I can't grab her right now. She's a little bit out of reach. But, there's your, SHs run small. So do Mofex. But then these are all imports. There weren't any domestics, but he's a pretty tall figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's one of those, like the Mantis, you're welcome, but also I'm sorry. Because I know that wasn't a figure that you were necessarily trying to buy. And I've got something similar.
Lava Man, look at him.
His name is Armor Man. He is from a manhwa, Chinese, I think specifically Hong Kong comic character that's it like hits those Kamen Rider, kind of like that Mantis Sexy Eyes figure that you've got. Notes. But he really hits me. I was showing off some SICs yesterday. The super imaginative Chogokin figures, and like he totally looks like he could blend right in. This is the stuff that like I'm all about, even though I've never read the comic. I'm just purely based on design, and I know you know about that. I know you've done some Ross pickups
Dude,
based
just
on
hear
that.
on how they look.
But it's cool. I was reading the story. It's like a dude in Brazil who's got like, I guess, some latent DNA of these like stag beetles, and somehow
And if
comes out and becomes a
he drops
hero.
his head and starts to charge, you're done, because he's gonna pick you up with those things on his head.
And you're
Slice
pierced.
you in half. Yep.
This whole belting looks really cool too. Such a cool look.
Dude.
It's one of those things where I was like, didn't know that I would ever, I'm definitely one of those persons who I love lore. I love knowing about a thing, but I'm also very visually driven. Same with He-Man. People are always like, I need the lore. I need the lore. I didn't need the lore when I saw that barbarian or that skeleton in Gemco or wherever I saw it, like back in the 80s. I was just like, that skeleton is dope. And then I found out about what the story was. And then, they tricked me by giving me this cool mini comic of like, He-Man being this cool barbarian who leaves his family and comes across this, a completely different story. And then they switched
totally
it up.
different. Yeah.
So with that history, that's why some people are like, dude, why are you interested in buying this based on how it looks? Like, that's why it's no different than what I
It's
did
going
when
on
I was
my
a kid.
shelf, and I want to look at it, and I like the look.
Too.
Period.
That too. So
and they always say with the insects, right, how much stronger they are. So when when you think about the fly, when he got the powers, he was so much stronger when he had that in him. And you imagine how strong that dude is with all that coursing through his blood,
And I love the little hints of that brighter color underneath that armor. I just think that's a really cool hit. So
that's kind of why I said lava man, because it looks like lava going under the rocks. Like after it cools and it looks like it's going underneath, it looks like that.
Oh, this is what so Alan was thinking about Algar and painting him to match Bather, which is kind of rad. And now with this guy, see, Alan knows what's up. Guyver, are you familiar at all? Have you heard of Guyver?
I have heard just recently, and I have not looked into it yet, but I it's on the list.
This is 100% Guyver Unit 1, Guyver / Common Rider. Yeah, he's feeling that too. Sick looking. Yeah, the artist, he names him here, which I think is awesome. Yao Fok Lung. I think it's actually Ki Fok Lung. I saw it elsewhere when I learned. But anyway, the name of the character is Armor Man with a U. Got that Euro vibe. But anyway, cool thing to look out for. I just think it's really cool. And
it says 7 inches, so it's giving you an impression of a 1/10. So yeah, that's a good one.
Which is, it's weird. Me and the weirdo big scales.
Damn.
Amani Warbears, if you're a Warcraft person, but technically it's not, because this is meant to be unlicensed, not World of Warcraft at all. So this thing came out, and I was really intrigued by it. But I've got my bear coming in from Four Horsemen. I know that's going to be great. This one definitely is on that Hero Toys, Medi Toys, Memory Toys, kind of more cartoony vibe too, slightly more illustrated vibe to match, everything else they've got going on. I think it looks cool. I've always wondered though, like, oh, does this come off or whatever? So this is by Medi Toys, which, a lot of folks have talked about how they're the same company that is Hero Toys, who also does unlicensed World of Warcraft. Well, Medi is also doing Rexar and Misha, which is Rexar and one of these bears. And so I don't know if this bear is in fact that same bear by Medi. But I got to assume it is. So I'm not totally sure. I haven't done the, side-by-side search, although it looks pretty close as I'm doing a quick scan. But to think that it can pose up like this is really cool, man. Check that out.
Yeah. I was just going to say, hide your eyes, Alan, but he already said, I need this bear.
Yeah. What's up, GI Jetman? Good to see you.
What's up, Jetman?
These are not on 5K, but they will be on 5K. So these are like early. This is how they do it. They sort of like tease these, especially when it comes to the unlicensed stuff. They'll show you stuff, and then pretty quickly it'll be on pre-order. So, so look out. I think the bear looks great. I've seen that more of Bodvar from Four Horsemen. It's just a different bear. and that one looks great, and this one looks really good too. So
Look at his pauldrons. Look at the guy's pauldrons there with the
yeah,
the skull. Oh, that's crazy.
Rexar, he's got like this little bat looking. He reminds me of that, that Batman, McFarlane caveman
One
one
of
that
the
they.
variations, yeah. One
Yeah,
of the 600 variations of Batman.
it's funny. It's like him and Dark Wolf. They've always kind of like had that look, and so Rexar. If I had all the money in the world, I'd get Rexar as well. This guy, but I'm gonna hold out for some of the other guys that I know are coming. So anyway, I think these are rad. Like, it just doesn't stop, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
It
Whether
comes
it's
from all angles, no matter what you collect, it comes from everywhere. And a lot of them can coincide with each other. So crazy.
Here's Japan. Here's feudal Japan, another shogun thing. But this is one of those where I was saying, dude, check out these soft goods.
Yeah.
Like that.
The detail on that is crazy.
Yeah.
To make it that small.
I'm forgetting what it's called. What do you call this when fabrics like that? I don't know. But
like a canvas kind of material?
It is almost like a canvas, but it's is it
there's a name, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
But with that this sort of design in it and at that scale, like that took some work to really find the right fabrics that would make sense. And I think it's a cool look. I don't know. And then, of course, even the pants look really good. And then mixing the soft goods with the plastic armor to kind of sell it. You can tell this thing is totally like, thicker, and it has some structure to it, which is what it would have been like.
Alan answered our question there for what it was called.
Jacquard. Yes. Thank you. Brocade. Isn't it brocade?
Yeah, he corrected himself.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Brocade. Yes. Uh-huh. Yep. It's clean, man.
Oh man.
And so
for that, what do you call it? A hat, a headpiece, a head helmet, hat.
That thing on the top? I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but it is pretty damn cool.
I mean, there's got it, and it's functional. You got to look back to see what the function is. It's like that thing maybe can go down and take a sword out or block.
Well, let's hear.
I mean, it's got to be something.
Let's see. I'm wondering if they call it out. No,
helmet, they call it. There you go.
Yeah.
It's brown kettle-shaped kabuto.
Yep, and then you've got the jacket sort of thing is the kosode, and the pants are hakama, which I had to wear for a wedding once, which is kind of rad.
That's cool.
Yeah, brocade. There you go. Gold brocade jinbaori sleeveless armored coat. That is killer, man. I don't know how big this guy's gonna be, but and I don't know how spendy he's gonna be. I'm actually not super into the face sculpt personally. It's a little like, I don't know, it just isn't quite working for me. But a little too photoreal.
The mustache or the facial hair is getting me a little bit off, but
for me, it's more like it's trying to be so realistic that it hits that uncanny valley kind of thing going on.
There's a line.
It doesn't look bad, and it looks great, and I know a lot of people will love it. It's just not my thing. But I wonder. But everything else on this figure is so good, and depending on price and size, I might be in on this guy.
He got some messages for you.
Okay, and the company is D12.
D12.
The company is D12. Oh yeah, sorry, it's a kabuto. Yeah, real metal for the katana. Larry saying, "Wow, it's a pretty awesome looking samurai." And then there's this. What?
9 messages. He's joking with you because you got 9+ messages on your Instagram.
Oh yeah, you have no idea how bad that really is. But I still keep in touch. This is by D12, not to be confused with D13 or D20. But we'll see how this turns out. But this isn't the only version. I'm just gonna keep going through it and just. Oh, there you go. There's my answer. See, I could just look. He's tall. He's 180 centimeters, which is like, well, that's to the top of that thing.
Top piece,
So like 177 is about 7 inches. I just know by looking all the time. Let's see what 180 millimeters to inches is. Yeah, that's 7.08. So yeah, he's going to be about the size of a Legions, which is kind of cool and dangerous. Oh, look at that.
I'm telling you, yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's precise. That's crazy.
Yeah, if this comes in at roughly 100 or under, I would totally grab it because that's just the stupid kinds of decisions I make in life. But if you wanted to spend even more money, you could go in for the horse. I'm not totally sold by the horse, but kind of cool that there is a horse option. There's so many good horses out. I feel like this one's barely going to move. There's no movement in
I was
the
just gonna
neck.
say I don't see any kind of cut, so it doesn't look like he's moving.
Yeah. And this stuff, while cool, we've seen it elsewhere. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Okay, man. I've just got sort of a couple of other little. Got one more figure to look at that we don't need to. We won't look at that figure. But why don't we do some photos and then call it a day? Is that good with you?
I'm cool. Yeah.
Okay, your kid's okay. Not stuck in virtual
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah. Like you said, once he puts that, well, and he's been doing YouTube videos on his VR, so he's having a blast with that. I'm loving it that he's into that stuff.
What can you do with? Can you do anything, or you're just in a space?
Well, you're in a. Well, he's got. I got him the cap cut that you can, the pay cap cut. So he does the recordings on his phone through. He links it to his phone, records it, but he puts on skits on his. He's like in this game called Animal Company, and he's a monkey, and he's running around, and he's mining stuff, and he's blowing stuff up, and then he does funny skits. Like dude, he's so good. Like he's so creative. I love it. Yeah,
that's awesome. So he's using it as a creative tool too. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I'll send you some videos. You have to check them out. Yeah.
In the spirit of that, I want to take a look at some folks who are doing cooler things with their toys than I am.
Oh no, Bert! Where are you going, Bert?
This is Century, Century Productions, who does amazing photos all the time using cool stuff like acrylic and signs and stuff. He does a show with Shartimus. But it's cool because I actually wish he would just have the photo. He might, but I grabbed the video. You notice like the crop, right? And then he'll always kind of show you the behind the scenes and how it's done. That's cool. And you can kind of see how that is the what is that thing called from Classified? The Cobra car thing. Not the vamp, but the Cobra one. But in the crop, it's like straight up Mad Max, right? And so just brilliant use of what he's got, and then the whole setup for his face and everything. This is his Bad Bert. What do they call it? Mad Max.
It's a Stingray.
Fury Road. Bad Bert Fury Road. Stingray. Thank you. But I just think it's a dope looking photo.
That's too cool.
Luanta Samurai, Larry says, and is the horse flexible? Don't know. Don't know. And
yeah, unless it's made with something like that where it flexes, because it doesn't have any kind of cuts for articulation.
There's Bert, man. Bert, remember? Did you watch this movie? Were you into these movies?
What?
Mad Max?
Mad Max? Or
yeah.
Bert and Ernie? Which one? No, yeah, Mad Max I definitely watched, yeah.
Oh man, I love that whole genre.
That's with Tina Turner, bro.
Yeah, dude, Beyond Thunderdome. Ooh. But the whole thing in this movie was that he was a blood bag, remember? So like I'm just thinking like Bert hooked up to like give blood to the driver is awesome. Oh my god. Cool photo.
Funny he did that to Bert. Poor Bert.
Hey Bert.
All right. Come on, Bert.
Bert gets a lot of hate. I loved Bert as a kid, but I know
he's just trying to keep Ernie in line, man. Come on.
He's just grumpy. I get it. Sometimes,
Sometimes I feel like Bert with my son. I hate to say it.
Here's a couple of droids coming out of May the 4th. I just thought this was a really clean shot. I forgot to show this for May the 4th, but Odo
literally looks like it's in the movie. Literally, this movie. That's it.
That use of that atmospheric, that little bit of fog to create that atmosphere looks so good. Yeah. Smart decision on the lighting, everything. Love it. Even like the scale of these stuff doesn't bother me because it looks like, whatever. It's alien. It looks great. And I don't know what that dio is, but it's really well done. Just get that. Mm-hmm. You think they like carved it that way, or like maybe put stuff on top like a paste?
If it's foam, It could be foamed and they're just cutting into it. It could be,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it could be some kind of like an actual putty texture, and then just
Mhm.
like a weird, like if you have one of those little spats that are a little bit rigid and you just kind of run it down. Could have been a lot of things. There's so many creative people that use different tools. That's
Alan
cool.
would have some ideas on how to do it too. That dude's
Alan, Alan's
that
funny.
dude's a mastermind. This stuff is cool. Yeah, I follow like 40 new instas. That's what's up, dude. That's we gotta take,
There you go,
there's
liquid
so
nails.
much good
He
stuff
called
out
it,
there. There you go, liquid nails. Okay. Yeah, that stuff
and
will
then just kind
harden.
of spread it down and make it,
Mhm.
texture it.
I love the use of the wires. So cool, man. Love it, love it,
All
love
for
it.
a picture. The fact that they go into so much and how much is put into that for a photo, like
Yep.
that
Yep.
is amazing. That to me is just amazing. Seriously.
And
Okay,
this
on to
whole
the next
thing,
one, right? They take the
yeah,
picture and
yeah.
then they do something else.
That's what's wild too. But that's why I don't want it to be that. I want it to be like, hey, let's all take a look at this stuff. And
Yeah.
that's what this show's about. Like, hey, check this stuff out. Look at all the hard work put into this. And so when Alan's saying this is exactly why, like, the last couple of shows I've been in that mode of like talking about people's Kickstarters or the Mythic meetup, that I haven't been able to do this stuff that I
Yeah.
loved doing with the guests. So
That was always, I did the same thing, like a lot of those, especially, with the customizers and stuff. I'm all over that. I'm like, follow.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Good stuff. Here's one that so yesterday, when I was going through my pickups, I was just like, got a little self-conscious and just wanted to move on. But this is one that I got in 2025 that I absolutely love. This is easily one of my top figures of the year. It comes with so much stuff. I got the deluxe version, so that's the link. And then putting it up against these Mythic Legions is perfect.
That is
But
awesome.
what a cool shot. I don't know what they're doing, if they're like tossing dirt in the air and then snapping it, or how they're able to kind of capture that atmosphere, but so cool.
And it could be like how they do it with those really high powered like blowers where they hit the dirt and like how it kind of pops it up. They go straight down and it shoots the dirt up and then take the picture. That's awesome.
This is Nilla Gorilla _13. Great photos.
Awesome.
Great taste in toys. Speaking of great photos and great taste in toys and everything in general, 78 points of articulation. No slouch in creativity, this guy.
Yeah.
Architect / dio maker /
Freaking
toy
glass.
photographer. Yeah, no, this dude's another level. He's but
I can hear the
this
Zelda
photo,
song playing when you're in the dungeon,
it's so good. And he agrees with me. He says, I forget, it was here or somewhere else where he said that this link is totally like best figure of the year contender. And then these apparently are things that are I don't know if have you played Tears of the Kingdom?
No,
This
no,
version
I'm
of
old
Zelda?
school
Okay.
Zelda. I just remember the Nintendo stuff.
So I'm old school Zelda too, but my kids got into Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom, and he can do all sorts of cool stuff now. So this stuff is, he has this ability where he can merge things.
Oh, cool.
Like and then turn them into like devices. You can
Use them as
like,
weapons.
I've seen people build like gigantic constructs, like gigantic AT-AT Walker type things, or even TIE fighters in them, just made of like wooden tables and stuff in the game. But anyway, that's what you're
Eric
seeing
has
here.
a
Where
Switch. He needs to get into that, man. I would love to, like, even just to watch him play it. That'd be cool.
it's really cool, and that's what this stuff is. And so apparently these are, you can get a gashapon right now in Japan. So cool stuff. Good job, 78 as usual. Awesome. Dude's got a good eye. But yeah, so this is my section of, these are toys that I have that other people are making look better. Here's another one. Oh man, this thing is awesome. He's chilling in my classroom now, and it has, just because it's so cool looking, has gotten a lot of attention from the students. They're like, what is that? And they probably notice when the new big one comes in. But this is the Arctic Dragon by Creative Beast Studios. This is on the Creative Beast site. The photographer is David the Dinosaur Man, who does a lot of photos for them. He's real good at kind of capturing atmosphere. see the snow and kind of working in. I love how he's using the articulation of that tail, showing it off. Good stuff.
Wow. Lighting is awesome on that, man. Just how he has it. So good.
100%. So much talent out there, Larry. It's really cool. And I just love that these toys are inspiring people to be creative as well. Like you making like custom figures of athletes and just like it. And now you're 3D printing stuff. It's really cool, man. And this stuff, look at that.
Man.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The Northern Lights thing going on. Like that whole thing of using like screens. I did that once for an Evil Inn. And then I did a couple skeletons too. I got to get back into it. It's fun.
I know Thanos does that a lot too. He does that with the background. Yeah.
But it's totally like, you know, George Lucas with some prequel stuff. Not so much George Lucas, but maybe the Lucasfilm now with like their, what do they call it? The volume.
Yeah.
Right. Where they're using giant LCDs. And I love that toy photographers are basically doing the same kind of thing. Look at this.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Is that just like a Jurassic Park piece too that he's stepping on?
No, that is one of Creative Beast Studios. They also do dinosaurs.
Cool.
Yeah. You can tell by the segments and
What
stuff.
you did to the eyes, man. That's cool.
And I got a burst of its photographs. That'll be sort of the last one tonight. It's a lot, but so obviously I've gotten these toys, and you know me, I also have been getting some Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And so this guy, Agent Gomez, did these photos of Hulk versus Animal Warriors, and featuring a lot of the Wave 4 figures. So including this guy, the gosh, I'm forgetting his name now. The Horrid something. Not the Ravager. I'm forgetting. I'm a bad AWOC fan. But cool to see what other people are doing with these toys. Agent Gomez taking some great shots. I love it, man. Have you done your part to support AWOC, Kenny?
Yes, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah. The Kickstarter was, I was like, oh, once I put one order in, I can order more once that list comes out. Oh, great.
Oh, that's right. You were looking at the Kickstarter and you're like, oh man, these are never going to come in. And then you're like, oh wait, there's figures I can get. What's up, Allison? Good to see you. Yeah, that dragon looked fantastic. And of course, we're now in to AWOC land, just as Allison gets here. But you know, does a good job of sort of just showing what the figures can do and putting them in their battle.
I got a bunch of the armor that because of Alan. Alan was like $5, and I was like, "Ooh, I'll order 6."
Yeah,
so, yeah, I got a bunch of the armor too.
I love when people pose up these guys, even in standing position, but there's still so much just gesture and drama just because of the bends you can get. Allison got her first AWOC, 2 head packs from Hella Dope. That's awesome.
Nice.
Did you just get heads or did you get any bodies? And curious what you're going to do with the heads, Allison. Here's these guys doing the whole.
The bodies fit, everything fits perfect in the Masterverse because I have them standing in my Masterverse rack.
That's right. Look at that. And Son of Hulk, Scar.
I have him, but he's still in the box. I just never.
I was curious about him. Yeah, let me know what you think of him when you get him. I almost got him, but didn't end up. Anyway, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom ends this show of all the, you know, fun, toy, nerdy stuff that we're looking at. Kenny, I know this was last minute, and I appreciate you for jumping on. And I'm sorry that this was your first one. I was thinking back, and I realized, oh my God, why hasn't Kenny been on here? I'm glad we got to take a look at your stuff. No, no, he does not. But no, it was really cool having you on and being able to show some of your custom stuff, man. What do you got going on? You're going to be on Wednesday again, and
yeah, just continue. I mean, that's the one thing I've always. I mean, at the beginning when I first started, just stay consistent, do the same thing. That's what I've always been told. So Wednesdays at 7 on Mountain Time, I guess. So 6 your time, and then. Then Friday nights, it's just fun. And whoever wants to join in on Fridays, they come in. We just hang out. It's just whoever can't really sleep on a Friday. So
nice,
fun. Good stuff.
Yeah, what do you get? The Insomniacs?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Wednesdays and Fridays over on Kenzo's channel. Check him out on Instagram as well. I'll put the links in that QR code down there, as well as the links to everything else. I am super stuffed up, just hanging out for like an hour and 48 minutes. I can tell I haven't blown my nose once, and it's all in there. You guys want to see? But man, thank you for hanging out. And I love it. You were talking about being consistent. Obviously, today I'm not being consistent. I usually go on Sundays. Just to say it one more time, I will not be on this Sunday. This is it for this week for the news. This Sunday, I'll be over on Latin Legions. If you follow the channel, I'll be putting a post in the community tab. And then the following Sunday, I'll be back at normal time with Jason Rodriguez, talking about his lines. So
very cool.
I'll probably see you on Saturday too. We'll hang out over on the clubhouse if it comes back. Yeah,
I'll be there. Yeah, cool. Allison's gonna run it, so it'll be fun.
Oh shoot! All right, and then in the new digs.
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Okay, well,
Correct
we'll see.
me if I'm wrong, Allison. I don't know.
Look out for it, folks. Either way, there will be an Ostradamus Toys clubhouse. All right, folks, there's a bunch of other great shows to see on a Monday. Legions Lounge is probably going on. Punk is going yet? Is it 5 or 6?
I think he's in 20 minutes, yeah.
Okay, he'll be on in 20 minutes, and he'll be going on for the entire night. And I'm forgetting who else. I know there's... Oh, what am I saying? The Collection Nexus. One of my favorite shows to watch live. Check them out with Jesse, Drew, and Berserk, Ronald. And one last one. Oh, A&R Toys with Drew. Yeah, check them out. I love their show too. So yeah. But you know what I need to do? I need to drop some NyQuil.
There you go. Just give into it and just...
Yep, and then wake up at about 12 hours from now to go to school. I think I'm going to try to go to school tomorrow. Okay, kids, I'm coming back. So I hope you did your stuff today because the project's not going to do itself.
That's right.
So, all right, man. Kenny, thank you so much. Here's where I play fun music, and I always forget, so I forget to scroll down.
On the way out.
And there you go. Peace. Here he is.
Hey, guys.
Woo-hoo. And then I go over here, and then I cover us. Ready? We're gonna cover our faces. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Faces now covered.
Yay.
And then I will put, like, hopefully the links at the end if I remember, in those little boxes right there. And you should check out the past episodes, and you should go see what's coming up next, because it takes some work to put that stuff together, and I do it.
It's good work.
Bye-bye.